The Velocipastor is a 2018 film with a budget near $45,000. The film stars Greg Cohan and Alyssa Kempinski and tells the story about after losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a prostitute who he becomes in love with convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas. The film is an hour and 15 minutes long and is not rated. Welcome back to a brand new movie review, shocking movie review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and box office breakdown shows. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. First of all, if you haven't heard of Velocipastor, are you going to look for it now after this review? If you've seen it, if you have actually seen this movie, let me know in the comment section what your overall thoughts on the movie is. And also please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button, that really helps support the channel. So this is a different movie review, the most unique movie review that I've ever done on this channel. The other night, I was watching with my group of friends this movie. Two of my friends, Johnny and Liam, were just dying for me to see this movie. And I watched it with, Johnny and Liam. I have also friends, Declan, I want to shout out, and Chris, and who were there watching this with us. And they basically told me that you have to review this movie now. And I was very hesitant, but I'm going to do a review of The Velocipastor. This is one of the weirdest movie experiences I've had ever, I think. It's a movie that is below $50,000 in budget. And it's just a weird movie experience. So I'll give my positives, my negatives, then my score out of 5 stars. So my biggest positive with the movie is that it is definitely hilarious. Now, sometimes movie does not want to be hilarious and it's hilarious, but the movie is definitely not boring to watch from start to finish. I feel like the movie, when it knows what it is and is trying to be funny, the movie works because, again, it's very limited in budget. It's not trying to be the greatest movie of all time. The director, writer, and editor, Brandon Steer, I assume, was just trying to make a fun little movie. And shockingly, I had a lot more fun watching this than I have. I think a lot of people who watch this movie really say this is a awful movie, but it's definitely a fun movie to watch. That's probably a thing that sums up this movie. There were worse movies than this because there are bad movies that are just bad and you just hate yourself watching throughout. I was not hate watching this movie. It was definitely hilarious, cheesy at points. But when the movie thinks it's funny actually. There's a character who's one of the ninjas. I thought he exactly knew what movie he was in, especially towards the last 20 minutes of the movie. He knew exactly what movie he was in. And that's why that character was a lot of fun to watch on screen. I also think Greg Cohan was fine in the lead role. This is not a awful performance, but it's also not a very good performance as well. He's kind of in the middle. Again, he also knows what movie he is in for the most part, being in this lead role. But let's just talk about the negatives because this is a really awful movie that's tough for me to really talk about positives with. The dialogue is atrocious, really from start to finish. There are performances that in this movie that some of them know what movie they're in, and some of them are taking this movie way too seriously. There is obviously a lot of stereotyping that is definitely would not hold up, already does not hold up in 2022. This movie came out in 2018 that I was not a huge fan of, especially when you go with the ninjas in China. That whole, every time they kind of cut to the ninjas, the movie became way less interesting. And I think the ninjas got a lot more screen time than I thought heading into the movie. There are some twists and turns that work. Some work for the comedy purposes. Some will actually work for the story. The worst part of the movie for me is actually like the editing of the movie. It's horribly edited and horribly shot from start to finish. There are scenes where the camera is like shaking as it goes into a close-up, and you're like, you don't need to go close-ups. And Brandon Steer was addicted to close-ups in this movie. And I'm just not a big close-up person, and maybe I didn't really realize that until I started watching this movie, but it was so obvious the close-ups used in the movie. So that wasn't very good. And there's a lot of scenes where characters just stand at each other, they're having a conversation, then they stop for like 15 seconds. And I literally, when I was watching it, was like, cut. Like they should probably cut this. This easily could have been at least like a 60-minute movie, not a 75-minute movie. Because of all of the movie just drags. And for a 75-minute movie to drag, that is really hard to do. Obviously, the movie has awful CGI and effects because they don't really have any to use because of the limited budget. And this movie literally is based upon having a bigger budget. And I think if you're gonna make a movie with this kind of budget, this might not be the story to go with to make this type of film. So overall, it's a fun watch, but it's a pretty bad movie. So I was debating with my friends what I should give this. They gave me the lowest I could give it is a 15%. So I'm gonna be nice to them. I'm gonna go 20% on the Velocipastor. It's an awful movie, but is it fun to watch? It's a fun, bad movie to watch. So that's my thoughts on the Velocipastor. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos to come. I'm sure my friends will be interacting with you as well in the comment section down below. So let's have a fun discussion. This is kind of a one-time thing. Happy to do this for my friends. My upcoming videos here are lots of reviews, TV show reviews as well, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown shows continue on this channel. So please subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you guys soon.